All right, we are live from Joan C. Edwards parking lot in the West Lot. It's the ThunderCast, and we're here for ThunderCast Live, powered by IgniteLink. KD, we have been tailgating all morning. We were here around 8, a little bit before, getting everything started. And we're joined with a bunch of Herd brothers here and a lot back over here that may hop on camera any minute.
Yeah, it's been a great weekend. It started last night. Really, it started Thursday night with an event down at the Union. But last night, we really got things going with the Herd Brothers reunion. That was a great event. Well over 120 former Herd brothers up there. Now we're down here at the C Lot today. The tailgates are tailgating. The sun is now shining. It's not nearly as cold. And we're blessed to have a whole bevy of Herd brothers here with us. And we're going to hear from some of those guys today. I got to say one thing before we get going. If you are not down at Joan C. Edwards Stadium today, where the hell are you? Because this is what's going on in Huntington today.
But you were in regular season form there. The C Lot is where we're normally at. We're in the West Lot. We want people to come by and come to the West Lot if you're here watching this.
Well, I think they can't miss the party.
They won't miss it.
You can't miss the party. The Kelly Green is flowing. The tailgates are live. We're out here having a great time.
Yeah.
It's spring game weekend. It's the start of the Tony Gibson era. The fans are going to get their first glimpse of Tony's team. And I want to talk to some of these guys.
Yeah, let's hear from some of our Herd brothers. This weekend, what's this meant to you so far?
Well, first off, it's just a great opportunity to get together with the Herd brothers. I played with all these guys here. And we get together, and the so-called accomplishments of our era seem to get bigger, bolder, and more embellished as we get together. But it's a lot of fun. We still give each other a hard time, razz each other, just like when we were 18, 19, 20 years old. And then just to see how this program is growing and I was just so happy that Coach Gibson came out to our golf tournament, and it just shows how much he cares about the former players, that he really wants us involved. And last night he spoke to us again upstairs, and I'm just really excited about Coach Gibson because a West Virginia boy like I am, and you can tell he wants to be here, and he's take this program to new heights. So for me, it's exciting in that regard.
Yeah, I don't think we want to talk about wins and losses, but as the program gets more and more successful over the years, those foundation bricks just get bigger and bigger and bigger. And we all have you guys to thank for that kind of stuff, right? The guys who went through those lean years and did the hard work so that, well, as the kids say now, you guys walked so they could run. And that's where we are. It's fresh off of a Sun Belt Conference championship. The sky's the limit for the Herd, is it not?
Yes, it is. So it's just a great time here. I'm looking forward to the season. I think it's going to be awesome. I like Coach Gibson. Like like you said, we've been together for. I've known these guys for almost 50 years.
Yeah.
It was almost 50 years ago when we were here, and we're still coming back. And I still get to see these guys, and I just think it's going to be awesome.
Awesome is a great word. I
Yeah.
mean, but what a weekend so far. What's been? It's still early. It's early on Saturday, but what's been the best part for you so far this weekend?
So first, I'd like to say I'm just thrilled to be here. The opportunity to meet some of the younger herd brothers and get to know them a little better has been, one of the hallmark pieces that I've truly enjoyed. We haven't had an opportunity over the last several years to meet some of those young guys. I think the other piece is we had a golf outing on Friday where several of the herd brothers showed up. Now, I will tell you, being from Atlanta, it was one really cold day. I was freezing. But it was an enjoyable time to go out there. A lot of business is done on the golf course. I can certainly tell you there was a lot of monkey business on that golf course, and we certainly enjoyed that time together with those guys.
Isn't it almost like it's one of those things where you might not have seen each other for years and years and years, but you pick right back up where you left off, right? And I think that's what's special about the bond that you guys have. And really, it's what's special about Marshall as a whole. People don't really believe it when we say it's special here, but it is truly special here.
Truly is a brotherhood.
Yeah, and in that brotherhood, you mentioned it. Just about everybody here is pick up right where it left off, aggravating each other, giving each other hell. We were doing that right before we went live. Everybody, and then on camera we're going to do the same, right? Yeah. But specifically coming here and everything. What was maybe one, if you could narrow it down, one draw that made sure that you had to be here this weekend?
To see these guys. That's it. I mean, there was a period of time after us because we weren't tremendously successful here, but there were like 30 years went by. We didn't see each other for forever. But Brian's still Brian, Mike's still Mike, George's still George. They haven't changed a bit. It's like we're still.
We got a little more chunky over there.
And slower.
A little grayer hair.
But one thing I wanted to mention, if I could, when I went to school here, I saw the president every once in a while. Never talked to him in 4.5 years. Your president now is so outgoing and just phenomenal. Your athletic directors, we've had a couple of good ones in a row. They're very personable. They come out and they socialize with people. That part of it is different because they're people just like we are.
There's a lot of difference, quite frankly. When we first got here, the stadium was out in Fairfield, right?
Yeah.
And we didn't have half the buildings you see right here. Even the old dormitory where the sports athletes, that's been torn down. And you want to talk about pride. When we first came in here, we knew what this program could be built to because of the community was around us and supporting us tremendously. We knew what it could be. And I'm glad I lived long enough to be able to see where we're at now because, being down in Atlanta and traveling throughout the United States for my job and other things I do, and I'm wearing my Marshall stuff, we are recognized worldwide. And I couldn't be more pleased with telling people about what's been built here and what they're continuing to build here, as a legacy.
I've got one point of contention with something Mike said. Mike said that you guys weren't very successful here, and that's a subjective term. And maybe on wins and losses, maybe not. But what you guys did, we would not be here right now if we didn't have what you guys did. So don't sell yourself short about the success. And I just want everyone out there to listen to that wins and losses at that point in time, secondary to what you guys were able to do to carry this on so we could have this today.
Well, for the longest time, it was about enduring and making sure that the next cycle of players had a program to play. And eventually, it took to the mid-'80s, but there was a winning season. And then there was a little momentum. And then the 90s came. And then it was just a flurry of wins and championships. And now we're into bowl games and other conference championships. But it's because of what you guys did that me and Russ, are able to stand here and do shows like this on the West Lot for the fans and be able to talk to guys like that's tremendous for me.
Well, let's be clear. It wasn't only the athletes. It was the fans as well. I mean, this community bonded and came together to make this stuff happen. Mm-hmm. And they are thrilled about it. They're all in. So when they say we are Marshall, they're not just talking about the athletes and the people who went to Marshall. They're talking about the whole community, including you guys. And you're doing a podcast right now. We didn't even have cell phones back when we had dial phones, and for us to sit here and see this new technology and how engaged you are, this is tremendous.
Well, to make you feel better, we're going to get a cup and a string here in a minute.
I feel comfortable. Done it.
Well, let's talk about today and this season and what's about to go on. We're all going to go into the stadium here in a little bit. When you come and you look at a spring game, and yeah, spring game's a spring game, do you tend to watch the guys that played the positions you played and be like, man, if we only had guys like that, or man, this guy doesn't stack up to my era? Like, what goes through your head when you're sitting in those stands?
Well, everything's different. The blocking schemes are different. The way they block is different. They're much bigger guys. I mean, we're all, well, George is defensive lineman, but we're offensive linemen. The offensive linemen now are 6'8",
right,
350 pounds. So it's a different style of blocking. It's just, yeah, I do watch my position, but it's a completely different look. And so it's hard for me to critique because it's a completely different block. I can't explain it to you. It's just different.
Well, I also know the game has just evolved tremendously, right? It's no longer 3 yards in a cloud of dust and that kind of thing. Lots of wide open spread offenses. Could you play today?
Boy, I'll tell you what, I wouldn't want to try with the size of these guys.
And not as a 19-year-old. We mean right now.
Yeah, well, I knew what you were talking about. Yeah. My hair hurts in the morning, so let's be very clear on that. The athletes are far better than we were. Let's face it. They had better opportunity. When I first showed up here my freshman year in 1979, that was the first year we had a weight room. First year they built a weight room. It was about 1,400 square foot, and we're trying to jam 60 guys through there. A lot of us, we were talented for the time, but not near as talented as these young people. They're bigger, they're stronger, they're faster, and they had better looking women that they were dating than we were dating. So let's be very clear. Everything is far different, and so it's really hard to compare. And could I play today? Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Well, I'll take the you that played in the 70s and 80s.
Yeah.
That's what we needed. Yeah. You were the guy for the time and place, right? All you guys were. We needed you when you were here. And there's a lot of fans that appreciate that. They don't just look at a record, a win and a loss. They see things from a larger perspective. And we're some of those guys. And we have a really, look, I'm not trying to be rude. You guys played before I was born and really young. But still, I respect the fact that you guys did what you did because it allowed us as college students in the late 90s to set up in Jones C. Edwards Stadium and watch win after win after win. I appreciate that hard work, the sacrifice, blood, sweat, tears, hurt, played injured, all of that.
Well, let's be clear. Back then, they didn't have concussion protocol. Ask concussed over here.
Yeah. Concussion protocol is, are you okay?
Yeah.
Yeah,
and they
Coach,
didn't have any.
Can you breathe? You're good.
Yeah,
Get back in there.
You played. So you played. If you couldn't walk, that was the only way you were out. But you were in otherwise. If you somewhat knew your name, which some of us still don't know, we were out there playing. That was a big difference.
And you didn't want to come out.
There you go.
You didn't want to come out. That's true.
You guys have anything else to add?
I would just say, could we play today? I would reverse that. One thing that we did that they don't do today is we did true two-a-days. And we went to camp Monday through Saturday. We had Sunday off to let our body heal. We had meetings, but those were 2.5, 3-hour practices for a good 2.5 weeks. They don't do that today now in NCAA ball. And that really toughened you up. And like these guys are saying, there's no such thing as concussion protocol and things of that nature. So I think from that standpoint, we probably could have handled the practices better, but definitely, as Brian said, athletes, the way sports science has evolved, nutrition has evolved, it probably would be harder for us than the bodies we had.
Sure.
Nobody here would trade it for anything.
But that's right, we wouldn't trade it for what we went through.
Football's a year-round sport now. If you play, there's an off-season, you're training a certain way, a preseason, you're training a certain way, you're eating a certain way. And, I mean, even when I was in high school, it wasn't a full-time yearly job. You played and you were out of season, you took it easy. So let's not sell ourselves short. If the game was the way it is now, back in the late 70s, early 80s, who knows? You guys might have been just as fierce as the guys you're looking at today, right?
Remember, he's the one that has concussion. discussion.
Well, guys, thanks for stopping by. We're going to see if any other Herd brothers want to hop on here. And
You got a bunch over there.
yeah, there's a bunch over here off camera. There's a bunch over here off camera eating food, and we're going to talk about the food and their sponsor real quick, and then we're going to grab some more people in. But very nice to meet you guys. Thanks for coming by.
Thanks for
taking
all
some
that you've
time.
done.
Guys, thanks for everything you're doing. This is awesome. Great program.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Guys, if you're hungry, we got plenty of food, and it's all brought to you by who?
All right, so we have a low country boil, we got a sandwich platter, we got a bunch of desserts over here, and this is all thanks to Landscaping by Hillcrest. And we couldn't do things without our sponsors. You know, we called this ThunderCast Live, brought to you by Ignite and Jed's right here controlling everything. And then right back off camera is Landscaping by Hillcrest that made sure that we got all this stuff. So go to landscapinghillcrest.com. Look at their gallery. They do anything outdoors, and you're going to be blown away with the quality of their work. If you have any questions or whatever, get with us. We'll put you in touch with them.
Yeah, we can't thank them enough. It's because of them that we're able to do what we can do for Herd fans and these Herd brothers out here today. It's a wonderful day, and I'm going to say it again. If you are not down here on the West Lot at Jones C. Edwards Stadium, what the hell
down.
are you doing?
Yeah.
This is the place to be today. Finally, the lots have filled up. We're still pushing for 10K inside the stadium at kickoff. It's going to be close.
It's going to be close.
It's going to be
'cause
close.
This lot's full. It's full.
This is a very, very positive-looking crowd. One of the biggest, if not the biggest, I've ever seen at a Marshall spring game. And I'm not just saying that. I believe it, right? We were here, obviously, last year, the year before last. The lot is fuller this year than it was last year, and then definitely fuller than it was 2 years ago. There's a lot of excitement around the Herd fan base for Coach Tony Gibbs and his staff, this new recruiting class and the new era. Great Herd Brothers weekend that's got a lot of momentum going across all eras of Herd football. If you're a Herd fan, a Herd football fan, where else would you rather be? You can see some legends here. You can talk to some legends here. You can eat some really great food here, and you can see a cheap game for $5 freaking bucks.
$5, $20 to park. Of course, I don't think there's a spot left as I look around, and that's great to see.
That is awesome to see.
You know, you still got time if you're watching this live and you're here in town. Yeah, go park somewhere and walk over here. $5 to go in the gate.
Let's see who we can grab.
Yeah, we got some more Herd brothers around. You want to hop in?
Step. Yeah, come on by. Come on over.
You come on right in. Get right here. How about you guys?
Anybody else want to share some knowledge? Oh, okay. Come on in.
All of you, come on
in. Come on in. This is awesome.
You can
I've
eat
already
whatever
had
you
I don't know
want.
how many.
You can eat whatever you want, but you need to bring some for me next time.
We're gonna start off like we've been doing here because this is all about the Herd brothers this weekend, primarily, and a little bit of a spring game sprinkled in there. What brought you back for this weekend in particular?
It's just a brotherhood, like the older guy said. You was interviewing a while ago. Once you're here and you go to school here and you play ball on the field here and the old field that was over in the other part of Huntington, it's like family, man. And I come here because they're my brothers. We sweat blood, sweat, and tears on this field, man. Help build this program to what it is today, and it's awesome that you guys are doing what you're doing because they never had anything like this when we played, and it's great to see this place grow each and every year. You know what I'm saying? Even if the guys from the earlier classes to the latest class graduating, we're all just one big family, man, and that's what's great about it.
So I'm glad you said that, and I want to get your reaction to this. I say this all the time on our show. Every college in the country, everyone will say, we're a big family, we're a family. They all pitch that when you be recruited, whatever. But I say Marshall delivers that, okay? They all pitch it, but we deliver it. True or false?
I think that's true. Very true statement. I think, Marshall is a very special place. I think, a lot of the history and things that are going on, here, and then some of the suffering that the school had to go through back in the 70s, of course. And to this program to get back to where it is and where it came from and where it's, evolving to from where it started at in the 70s after the plane crash to be to where it is today. I don't think anybody probably could really imagine, how that impacts, the area and so forth. So But it's a special place, and just, you know, being able to come back and still see folks and, you know, not miss a beat. It feels like, you know, the Huntington, of course, has changed, right? It's a different place now, but you know, the feeling that we come here and we're able to reminisce and you know, talk to each other and still have a good time and remember how great this place was. And
So look, Huntington has changed the landscape maybe. Buildings might be different,
right.
but has it truly changed? When you come back, you're like, I'm kind of home right now.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I feel like it's my second home. You know, yeah. We spend so much time here. You know, we met so many good people. We all come from different walks of life, but we come back to Marshall and it's like a brotherhood, it's like we never left. We tell stories for days. You know, we end our nights telling stories, right? And those are the things that we come back for. That feeling that those stories, you know, have for you, that bring to you. Our families, we bring our families back. You know, and I've talked to other people also who've been to colleges. My brother's been to a college, and it's nothing like this. They don't have this brotherhood that we have. And I talked to so many different people, and that's what makes this so special. That's why we come back every year. We were on the initial phone call when Mark started this thing last year. We were on that initial Zoom call, and this is what it's transitioned to. That's what we come back for. Yep.
Yeah, we had conversations with so many people last night, and private interviews and everything, and the key, the thing that kept coming back, the common denominator, was all the brotherhood. And we had seen like other athletes and our families at other places, or maybe they had started somewhere and then they came here and transferred here, and it was all, this place is different, this place will always be home, and this place will always be where my brothers are. Your thoughts on that, Rick?
Yeah, I mean, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. I mean, you don't see this at any other university. It's kind of sad now because with the guys, the younger guys, that's why you don't see a lot of the younger guys, like the 2000 era. You don't really see a lot of them because they don't have that type of glue, because there's a lot of transfer. You got the NIL, you got so many variations of what's going on now with people getting paid and stuff. So they'll never get this. You know what I mean? Like me, Javon, and Damone, we hang out in Atlanta together. You know, I always get them together. We always go, you know, hang out together there. So
We met here.
we met here. You know what I'm saying?
And we hang out every all the time in
You know what
Atlanta.
I'm saying? So you'll never see it like this again. But the thing we have, and we won. So that's a glue. That's glue. We won games. So that was glue.
And that Atlanta area is a hotbed of former Herd players.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, a generation, you know, slightly above you guys. You know, the
Tim
Glenn
and all them,
Pedro
yeah,
and
all
Tim
them.
and
Yeah,
Chris
we do
Parker.
stuff with them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
we do
went
stuff
to the
with
same
them.
high school. I came to Marshall because of Glenn Pedro.
So,
And Glenn was telling us at previous times that we were talking about this, that, you know, he was a recruiter while he was here, you know, as a player, and Chris Parker came in, and, you know, he decided to come because of Glenn, and you know, Glenn's a good friend of this show, and I wish he was here this weekend, because I'd love to give him hell about how he was going to stack some plates over here at our thing, and I hope you're watching, Glenn. Yeah, but no, that's what makes it so unique, is like some classes just have that anchor, and it might be eight years previous, but you're like, man, there was a pipeline, and this was him, and he's that guy that will get everybody together, you know, even if it's somebody younger than you, older than you, or whatever, but you live in the same area, and he's still calling and texting all the time. It's like, hey, we're going to get together. There's always one of those guys.
And you know, we do a reunion in Atlanta every year.
Tim's house, right?
Absolutely. So we're a big part of that process. So we do it every year, and it's just an extension of the brotherhood. So not only here, we have a Herd, I guess, a alumni chapter in Atlanta, right? So we just, you know, we share the love. We always come back, and we love it. You know, we love each other. We brothers, man. Brothers, man.
And I'll get back to KD here in a second, because he's got a question, I know. But we have also talked, he and I, about like all these Herd brothers that have gone on to coaching, not even at the college ranks, but in high school, and that is another pipeline, because you're developing these players, but you pass on that love that you have for your alma mater in this town and everything, and it's just, it comes out in you, and it makes people want to come. We just talked about Tommy Schuler this morning, and down at Miami Central, and how it's just a monster factory there to send people up here.
Yeah, I want to touch on what Ricky was saying earlier with the transfer portal, and guys sometimes think the grass is greener. It's a bad pun. We're talking about the Herd, but they sometimes think the grass is greener, and they are sometimes given information that might not be 100% accurate. that's why we keep trying to drive home that this place is different. The bond that you guys have across eras, and it doesn't matter you're a MAC guy or a Southern Conference guy or a Conference USA guy, you're a herd brother, right? And we kept hearing so many guys say, I've got family at other schools. They don't have this.
Right, they don't have it.
And we have it here. And that's something that we want recruits that might be watching this, guys that are playing here right now that might be watching this, their parents that might be watching this. Don't be quick to jump. This is a special place. These guys right here are proving that. And all the guys all the guys back here that are off camera, they prove that. This place matters to you. It's special for a reason. You guys made it special, really. But you don't just want to leave that behind for something that shines real quick, right? You don't know, right?
I can tell you one thing. When I was a senior in high school, Tony, we graduated the same high school, Van High School, and he was a sophomore. And coming from that small coal town community, you learn how to work and work at everything you do. And I have no doubt in his ability to do what's necessary here to make this a championship football team, this program here. And like you said, this portal, my goodness. We never had that when we were here. We never had that issue. And he's come in and he's filled it. He's got a good coaching staff under him. And knowing him personally like I do, he's going to make a great team here. And I just can't wait to see what he brings in, man.
I think the dynamic that exists today is that you guys were winning, right? And you wanted to stay here because you were winning, right? And now it seems like that's flipped a little bit. It's like, well, I'm on a winning team. Maybe I can do something else. It's like, dude, you're winning. Isn't it about winning championships?
Yeah,
Isn't it about getting rings, right? Like, I ain't going to fault nobody for getting paid.
We have the formula. We've had the formula. You know, we showed what it took to win.
Yeah.
And it just needs to be followed and just pushed out there. But we had the blueprint, man. And I think it all comes from the bottom line is that we all were brothers first. We won together because we were brothers. So it just trickles down or trickles up, however you want to say.
It's all the same thing. You guys play it out on the field. The fans feel that, the energy in the stadium from the wins. I said this last year. I say it all the time. I was a student here for 6 years. No, I'm not a doctor. As a student, I lost 2 games inside that stadium. And I know you guys on the field, some of you lost one. See, one. I bet 95, I think I can guess that game. But 2 games in 6 years. Why would you ever want to leave that? Ever.
Yeah.
Like, you guys made this place a building that people didn't want to come into. Because you ain't going to walk in here and just expect to win a game at Marshall Stadium then, Marshall Stadium. And that's part of the process. You guys, that was a big part of the process. Fans were engaged, players engaged. You feed off us getting loud. We feed off you making plays and winning games. Why would you want to be anywhere else? Why would you want to be anywhere else?
Yeah, I don't know why you want to be anywhere else. I'll give you a prime example. My freshman year, I wasn't playing immediately, so I was like, well, maybe I should transfer. I had a conversation with my dad about it, right? He was like, well, just wait it out, give it a little time and see what happens. And I will tell you that was probably the best decision I did not make in my life, was to stay here and to go through that adversity and learn how to come out on the other side and keep fighting, keep pushing. And having the brotherhood, like you said, people were scared to come in here. We didn't fear anybody. We expected to beat everybody. Even when we were 1AA, we didn't care we played North Carolina State. We were expecting to go in there and give them a run for their money. And that's just how the attitudes that we had. And I just hope that the fan base can come back and rally behind these guys and the attitudes and so forth of the players that we get in. They get back to that baseline of, we got to get some guys in here that are dogs, that are not afraid, that want to be successful, want to win, and won't shy away from adversity or anything like that at all. I think that's going to be that formula we need to get back to.
We're going to see a little bit of that today. It's spring game. We're going to see if we got some dogs today. I asked the guys before, when you go watch a spring game, are you watching the D linemen and see how they stack up to, are you watching? Right, that's what you're like, all right, well, we might be all right. I'm always curious about that. So you think we're going to see some? You think we're going to see some dogs today?
We hope we don't see.
Hey, we got 63 new kids in here, so I'm definitely looking.
That's crazy. College getting cut. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's going to be some competition
big
today.
on defense and big on offensive line, so we should be
I
good
said
at
they big, but they quick. Big, just being big ain't gonna do it.
Good feet.
Have some good feet.
Guys, thank you so much for your time. Welcome home.
Yes, sir.
Get your bellies full.
Yeah, how about some more of that
kidding?
food? You guys
Get your
want some more of
bellies
that
full
food?
again and again.
I'm good now.
Thank y'all for all the hard work
Thank
and
you,
blood and
guys.
sweat and
Thank you,
tears.
guys.
Means a
Thank
lot.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
When you guys start this thing?
We've done. This is our 4th year.
April 1st of 2022 was when we started. So it's been 3 years. This is our 4th doing this.
We've been pretty lucky. We've been pretty lucky. We're pretty well received. Yeah, we're doing all right. Thank you. Thank you.
All right,
Russ?
so yeah, we're getting ready to wrap up
Wrap
here.
it up.
We've had a great tailgate so far. Still plenty of people over here eating. We've had all this food again by Landscaping by Hillcrest, making it all possible. Can't say enough good things about them. Tom's here in the background, and he said, I want you to do it big. And did we do it big? Do you think we did it big?
We did it big
I had a
enough.
bunch of people come by and say, man, you guys outdid yourselves. You did it big. Well, that's what he wanted. So come by. If you're still here in the lot, we're going to be here right until it's time to walk in. Thanks, as always, to Jed with Ignite Link making this show happen. You guys see him behind the camera, in front of the camera, all over the place. And we cannot do this without Ignite Link, and that's why it's called ThunderCast Live, powered by Ignite Link. KD, take us out of here.
Well, I mean, I'll do your line, I guess. Whether you see us at the Cam, whether you see us at the Jack, or you see us today in the West Lot at the Joan, no matter where you see us, we're gonna be saying, "Go Herd."
Go Herd. It's the ThunderCast, and we'll see you later.